Hello, friends of Sudoku, and good morning and welcome to Sunday, the 17th of December, 2023. And today's New York Times Hard Sudoku is available online about 4 hours earlier than usual. But we'll take it. It's raining a little bit outside, so I won't be going out for breakfast until it stops. Just a quick reminder, tomorrow you'll be seeing an expert Sudoku by El País on this channel because I will be traveling. I'll be taking a motorcycle taxi from my apartment down to the airport bus terminal, and then I will just be traveling from there on for the next 24 hours. I got 4 flights ahead of me tomorrow, and I will be rather jet lagged when I arrive at Copenhagen Airport Tuesday morning, Central European time. Now back to the puzzle here. It's really strange looking because it's clear that the 4 blocks down here, and this therefore must be a 4. I can also see a 6, and the 6 materializes this way. The 6 blocks across, the 6 blocks down, blocking here. A ghost 6 here blocks down. This 6 blocks over, so a 6 must go here. And this 6 now blocks across, so does this, and this 6 blocks down, here's a 6. We're going to have a 1, 3, 5, 9 across here. 1, 3, 9 block this square, so this is a 5. 1 must go here or here because of this one. A 3 must go here or here. And a 9 we just don't know anything about. But it might be a good idea to look at these squares and see what they must be. They must be a 1, 7, and a 3. We got a 3 and a 7 blocking here, so this is a 1. 7, 3 here. 3 also blocks up here and across. One of these is a 3. We got 1s here or here. 7s we don't really know much about. As you might have noticed, I'm basically using 2 sets of skills for my Sudokus. One is, of course, that I train my short-term memory. It's very important when you solve Sudokus and you don't use notation. Notation is just a memory placeholder, I think. It aids in visualizing what is possible and what is not. And I try to keep that in memory. The other skill that I use is symbol combination. You will notice that I often say, well, we got a 1, 7, 4 here. We need to find a 1, 7, and a 4 in 3 of these 4 squares. Isn't that true? Since we have the 1 already, we can discard the 1 for now and just look at the 7, 4. And since we know that this 4 blocks down here, we know that a 7 is bound to go in one of these squares. We also know that a 7 blocks here. Now we know that a 7 and 4 must go in these 3 squares, not in these 4 squares. And the 7, of course, blocks here. So the 4 can go in any of these 3, and the 7 can go here or here. And that is how I keep a mental picture of things while I'm solving. By the way, the 4 blocks down and this 4 blocks down. So we might as well plant a 4 here. Now it would be interesting to examine these squares here. We just talked about how one of these is a 7, or is going to be a 7 rather. Therefore, none of these can be a 7, and the 7 must go here. And these must be a 9 and a 2. Since we know that these are a 7 and a 3, it follows that these must be 5 and 6. So it now follows that we also must have a 9 and a 2 in 2 of these squares, and the third number must be a 3. We got a 2 and a 3 blocking here, so this must be a 9. We might have a look at these. One of them must be a 1, I can see that, and the other ones must be a 7 and an 8. I can't do much about that at this time, except I know that the 8 goes here or here, and the 1 goes here or here. The 7, I don't know anything about. What I do know is that, and this is another It's not a trick. It's just a strategy that I employ, or a tactic. Call it what you like. I'm very often looking at more than one number at a time, because that enables me to find pairs and sometimes even triples or quads. It's really a necessary skill that you need to develop, I think, before you can effectively solve Sudokus without using notation. So here's an example. We got a 4 and a 5 here. We got a 4 and a 5 here. We need a 4 and a 5 for these two squares. This might not be so easy to find unless you start counting, because it's clear that if you start counting across here, you will see that a 4 and a 5 can't go here. A 4 and a 5 here, therefore a 2 and a 6 here. The 6 blocks down, here's a 2 and here's a 6. We now have these 2's blocking here, here, and here, and this 2 blocks here, so 2 goes here. We know that these were 2 and 9. Now this is a 2 and this is a 9. Now I can't help myself about looking at these 4 empty squares and saying to myself, what can they be? They must be 4, 5, 7, and an 8. And I'm clearly seeing the 4, 5, and a 7 blocking this square, so it must be an 8. And I immediately look right now, okay, no 8s can go here, no 8s can go here, 8 blocks down here, so here's an 8. And now we know what these are, therefore it might be possible soon to figure out what these are going to be. Let's have a go at it, shall we? These must be 5, 7, and a 4. I'm not sure I know what to do with that, but these therefore can't be 5, 7, 4. They must be a 1, 3, and a 9. For this particular block, we don't really seem to be in any luck. So now I'm looking at this row here. We need to find a 3, 5, and a 9. This 5 blocks this square, and this 5 blocks this square, so a 5 must go here. This is now a 3, 9 pair. We also have 3, 9 here. And we have 3, 9, 1 here. There doesn't seem to be much I can do about that at the moment. I'm eyeing a 6 for one of these squares, simply because we have a 6 blocking across here and up here. So I know that one of these must be a 6, and I know that one of these must be an 8. It's not immediately helpful, but it keeps my mind occupied. I am watching these squares here very, very closely. Sometimes, even if we have very few givens, as in this case, we only have 3 givens for column 9, I do remember that this is a 4, 5, and that this is a 4, 7, 5. And I'm now looking to see if I can eye a triple, because we do have some limitations, after all, in this block up here. And it so happens that we have a 9, 3, and an 8 blocking this square. So this seems to be a 4, 7, 5. So we got 4, 7, 5 here, here, and here. 8, 1, 3, 8, 9 to find. 3, 8 block here. So yes, here's a 9. And the 3 and an 8 must go in these two squares here. So does that do anything to us in terms of 9s? 2 9s block these 5 squares. We have to have a 9 here or here. Now we know that one of these must be a 9. So this is a 1, 7. Yeah, we took away a 9 candidate from this square. We need a 1, 9, and one more, and an 8 for these squares. The 8 and the 9 block across. So here's a 1. The 1 blocks over, the 1 blocks over, the 1 blocks up. We can enter a 1 here. This 1 blocks down, this 1 blocks up, a 1 goes here. 9s can't go here or here, therefore a 9 goes here, and this must be a 3. Now this is a 3, and these are 1 and 9. We can do more with the threes, the 3 blocks up, and this 3 blocks up, this 3 blocks across, 3 goes here, 3 blocks across and up 3 here. The last number in the column is a 2, it must go here. We should be able to figure out that this is a 7. Now we have 7s here or here and here or here. The 8 blocks here and here, this 8 blocks here, we need an 8 for this position and therefore for this. This 8 blocks across, this 8 blocks across, these 2 8s block up and down, 8 goes here. We know that the other one must be a 3. We talked about that already because we have a 4, 5, 7 triple here, right? Now this 3 forces a 3 to go here and a 7 here. That gives me a 7 for this square, and for this we need a 9. 3 squares here, that ought to be possible because this one has got to be a 9. And these, therefore, a 4 and a 5. The 4 blocks over. Here's a 5, here's a 4. 5 and 6 here, still nothing to be done. And a 7 and 8 here. Here we can enter an 8 here and a 7 here. That gives us a 7 for this square and a 2 for this one. 2, oh, 2 of course must go here now. And this must be a 1. Now we have a 1 here. We know that the last one therefore must be a 9. Which blocks up? This 9 blocks down. This 9 blocks over. 9 goes here. 4, 5 here still. Therefore a 6 here. Which blocks up? The 6 blocks up. 6 here and therefore here. Up here we need to have a 5. Therefore we have a 5 here. 4 goes here, and this was a 4 and a 5 pair. 4 blocks down, 5 here, 4 here, and therefore 4 here. 5 and 7 still. 7 blocks down, 5 here, and 7 here. I'm not saying that this puzzle wasn't tricky, but it was quite fun. Even though it looked very easy from the start, it really wasn't. I hope you all have a great Sunday, and I'll see you back on Wednesday. Tomorrow and Wednesday morning's videos have already been pre-recorded and they will appear at 6 a.m. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.